and welcome back to the Love Letters from Lincoln podcast. This is your host speaking, Lakin Olmstead. You guys, if you're watching on YouTube, you might have noticed that I finally have a mic stand. Now, I've had several kind critiques that my audio can be all over the place sometimes, so I finally bit the bullet and ordered a mic stand. I tested it out, obviously, before this, and it already sounds so much better. So if you're listening, watching, whatever, please let me know how the audio sounds. Please let me know if the quality is better. I truly want to know if this helps or not. I think it did, but let me know what you guys think. Also, I'm curious to see if it'll mask some of my sniffles because I am a little sniffly today. Wow. Never would have guessed, right? Yeah, I am a little sniffly today. So we will see if this helps with it as well. But I have my tea, if you're watching on YouTube. I have a little tray on my bed today with my green tea in my Ember mug, which is my mug that keeps my liquids warm. And then I have some tissues in my chapstick because I'm struggling. Can you even believe that? And the crazy thing is, we just had like 5 snow days in a row where I didn't work. All I did was sit at home, work out, watch TikTok, and read. So, like, how could I have possibly caught a sickness? Who knows? But, anywho, with that being said, let's get into some life updates. You guys, you know me by now. I go crazy when I'm off schedule. Like, I don't know what you even call it. What is it called when your like body, is it your circadian rhythm? Like, it's off whenever, I need to look that up. Definition of circadian rhythm. Circadian rhythms are physical, mental, and behavioral changes an organism experiences over a 24-hour cycle. Light and dark have the biggest influence on circadian rhythms. Food intake, stress, physical activity. Okay, I guess that kind of goes into like my schedule. But basically, when my schedule is off, my whole body is like off the rocker. Like, I don't know how to react physically, mentally, whatnot. So, today is Monday that I'm recording this. We're finally back at work. Thank the good Lord, like, genuinely, thank you, Jesus. I needed to get back on my schedule because I was going a little bit stir crazy. Got a mic stand. Sunny Angel, you guys, Sunny Angel, and I literally spit out my drink when I saw this. Sunny Angel is re-releasing it's like a recycled series, like a series that they've done before. I think it's a series they've done before. Yeah. It is a cherry blossom series, and I'm so freaking excited. It comes out on March 21st. And it's like, I think you call it Hunami edition or something, where they're sitting down. So freaking cute. There's not a single ugly one. So I'm super excited for that. I think this will be the time that I bite the bullet and buy a full box. Did I talk about this last week? There's no way I did because I'm pretty sure they just announced it. Let's go look. They announced it a week ago. Wait, when did I record last week's episode? I don't remember. Yeah, I don't think I've talked about this yet. Hopefully not. Anyways, super excited for that. I probably will buy an entire box of this series because they're so cute and I want all of them. Okay, in other exciting news, I have decided to run a half marathon in November with my parents. And I'm so excited for this because it'll be my first half marathon. I've never ran any type of marathon. I used to run cross country. I was pretty good at it. I used to love running. You guys know, if you listen to last week's episode, that I'm trying to get back into it, which I have been running quite a bit. So I'm excited for that. My parents and I decided that we're going to run the Bass Pro Half Marathon in November. So I will start training for that in July, I believe, is when the training starts, the official training. Like, obviously, I'll be running a lot before then, but oh, I'm so excited. I feel like I'm really taking a hold of like my health and well-being this year, and it makes me so excited, and it really enforces the idea in my mind of I can do hard things. But another last life update is it is now officially a month until I go to LA to visit Kennedy, and I am so excited. I'm getting my hair done tomorrow because I want it to be like fresh and cutesy whenever I go to Los Angeles. I'm so excited to get my hair done, by the way. I haven't had my hair done since June. We are just refreshing my roots. I'm not gonna cut it to a bob yet. If you guys know me personally in life, you know that I normally have like a pretty short bob, but lately My hair's been growing out way longer than it's been in years. So I think I'm gonna keep growing it out for a while. We'll see what the vibe is. But tomorrow we're just gonna refresh my blonde, do a little healthy trim, chop, whatnot. Okay, weekly report, you guys. Let me take a sip of my tea. I'm drinking a green tea with lemon and thieves essential oils and honey because, again, I have something respiratory congestion, something's happening in my sinuses right now. Could be because the weather just completely did a 180. We had snow and ice, like I said, covering the grounds all last week, and now it's 60 degrees outside. Make it make sense. Tomorrow, the high is 67 in Missouri, in Springfield. I don't understand, but I'm not mad, honestly. A little dose of serotonin will do it. Okay, releasing guys, Tate McRae released her new album. I think it's called So Close to What? And now listen, I'm not a huge fan of Tate McRae like Brittany and Sydney are. Those are like two of my best friends. They are huge Tate McRae fans. I never, I'll admit, I never really got the hype at first. And then like a few weeks ago when we were having our Galentines with all the girls, they were playing Tate McRae music videos while we were chatting and drinking wine, and I was just mesmerized by her. I was like, "You know what? She is so cool." Like, and I never didn't like her, you know? I just never understood. I never took a chance on her before. And watching those music videos, I was like, "Oh, I absolutely love her. I'm obsessed with her." So, consider me a newbie Tate McRae fan. I'm obsessed with her new album. Some of my favorites are Two Hands, Blood on My Hands, Purple Lace Bra, and Signs. And then, surprise, I woke up this morning and saw on Sydney's story that she released a bonus track with an alternate cover, and the alternate cover is so bomb. Like, it's so good. The bonus track is called Siren Sounds, and I love it. Sydney was mentioning that she had been listening to it on SoundCloud for a while, and then she just woke up and it was released, so she was super excited about that. So happy for you, Sid. Selena Gomez is coming out with an album with Benny Blanco, which if you don't know who Benny Blanco is, he's a writer and producer, I believe, and he is also Selena Gomez's fiance. Um, anyways, they're releasing an album together. It's called what is it called? It's called I Said I Love You First. And they released a single with Selena and Gracie Abrams. And Gracie's lyrics, what am I saying? Gracie's verse on the song is so catchy and fun, and I haven't been able to stop listening. I was talking to Sid about it, and we were like, this is like a good poppy, like running song. Same with Tate McRae. Like these songs I've been listening to while doing my runs, and it's been so energizing. I love a good like running album or running playlist because that ultimately is what gets me through my runs is what am I listening to, you know? I will say the single with Selena and Gracie is a bit too short for my liking. It's only 2 minutes long, and I'm like, girls, please give us more. You could have given me so many minutes of that song, and I would have listened nonstop. But it's okay. It's a bop. Experiencing feelings of boring and not knowing what to do with myself during the snow days. I really struggle with, and you guys know this, I've talked about it before, but you guys know I really struggle with slowing down, giving myself time to rest, time to breathe, recognizing when I need to take a break and realizing that it's okay to take a break. I really struggle with that. And I kind of realized as I was doing my prayers and like reflections of the day last night, I realized like, God, I had been silently begging him for sort of a break, a reprieve from my busy schedule and my work for a long time. And I would always tell people, like, oh, I just really need a break. Like, man, I just need like a day off. I need a vacation. God literally gave me that in 5 days of snow days or for however long it was. I mean, it's been a week since I've been at work. God gave me that break and I took it for granted. And I prayed about it last night. I was like, please help me be grateful for what I wished for, you know? Because past me would be so happy for present me and what I'm experiencing right now. And I'm living all the things that I asked for a day, a week, months, years ago. And I should be happy for that. So, kind of just had that realization of like, oh, like you got the break that you wanted. Like, you're allowed, like, let's live in it while we have it. Live in the moment. I've always struggled with living in the present, living in the moment. So there's that. Um, yeah, learning how to appreciate where I'm at, knowing that my past self prayed for that. Playing and watching, I'm gonna be honest, I haven't been really playing any games recently. I've been watching New Girl rewatches, kind of just doing a lot of doom scrolling on TikTok, but I also haven't been consuming that much media, not to like throw it in your face that I'm better than everyone, but I haven't been watching that much TV or really watching, yeah, I just haven't been watching or playing that much. If I do turn something on, it's like a YouTube video in the background, or I've been listening to a lot of music just kind of in the background of my day. Haven't been watching a lot of TV, haven't been playing a lot of games. But I feel like it's because I've been focused on other things and points in my life. Anyways, obsessing, honestly, and please don't think I sound like a tool when I say this, but I've been obsessing over running every day and just like being the healthiest version of myself. I've been obsessed with everything we talked about in the episode last week about becoming the best version of yourself. I've been obsessing over the fact that I can wake up every day and start over again and have a brand new chance, a brand new day. Um, wow, I need to stop saying so much. I just realized for like the fourth week in a row I haven't put up my on air sign. So sorry for that. Also, I realize that sometimes I talk really fast and my words kind of run together, especially when I'm nasally. You can't really tell what I'm saying, or I feel like I don't enunciate that well, so I'm trying to get better at it. I was talking to someone the other day and I had to repeat myself like 3 times because they couldn't tell what I was saying. So hopefully you guys can even understand me when I talk on the podcast. Yeah, okay, so obsessing over running every day and just kind of, and listen, I give myself a rest day, okay? I actually took rest days on Saturday and Sunday because yesterday I was very down bad sick. I don't know what caused it. I honestly think it's because I did drink over the weekend and like I said, I haven't been drinking that much anymore. I've limited it. Oh my gosh. I've limited it to once a week, and when I do drink that one time a week, I try to do just 2 to 3 drinks on that night. And I drank this weekend on Friday night and Saturday night, and I didn't have that many drinks, but I think it just really kind of it affected my immune system and like affected my body just because I don't ingest that much anymore. But we're all good today. We're just still a little bit nasally, and yeah, I've just been obsessed with like eating good foods that make me feel good and just anything wellness lately I've been loving. Reading. Okay, guys, are you ready for this? I'm finally 86% done with Onyx Storm. Haha. How long has it been? I think it's been a month now since that book came out. It sure has been a month since that book came out. Now, some books I just need a little bit of extra time reading, okay? And that's how it is with Onyx Storm. I'm pretty sure it took me this long to finish Iron Flame too. And it sucks because I'm thinking about how, like, if I really, really loved a book, I would fly through it no matter what I had on my plate. And it makes me sad because I really, really loved Fourth Wing and I talked it up so much when it first came out. And the second and third book have just fallen short to me. But we will see where the end of these last 14% of Onyx Storm will lead me. I could end up, rating it higher because of something that happens in the end, but we will see. Hopefully I will be able to provide you guys with a review and an update next week, but no promises. During my snow days, however, I did read The Crash by Frida McFadden. That was one of my most anticipated reads of the year this year. I love Frida. I love her thrillers. I rated it a 3.5. I read it in a whole day. And I was like, I'm so back, But then I kind of fell right back into a slump again. I'm also currently I started Magnolia Park's Into the Dark, which is the last book that's out right now for the Magnolia Parks universe. So I read about 100 pages of that. That one's a long book. I think it's about 700 pages. So I don't know. I still have been kind of in a slump, but I don't want to say it's a bad slump. I just want to say I don't have time to read right now. And I'm filling my time with other things and other hobbies and healthy habits. So it's not necessarily a bad thing. I just haven't been reading as much as I normally would. Treating myself to my hair appointment, obviously. Let's fix these roots. I am just so ready to be full blonde again. Like, I mean, my hair is blonde, but right now it's giving dirty blonde. It's giving like caramel colored and it's beautiful, but I'm ready to fix my roots because the face framing pieces I feel like and the roots is what really makes your look. And I'm just so excited. Ugh, I love a good hair refresh, you guys. I cannot wait. All right. That is all for my weekly update. Oh, actually, I wanted to mention that I got new bed sheets. If you're watching on YouTube, they're this beautiful like blue floral pattern. I know, blue is kind of crazy for me. I'm a pink girly. I think though that it goes with my room aesthetic pretty well. I'm hoping so. I'm kind of obsessed with them. I'm loving the look of it. I also over this past weekend, I do want to say I had a really great weekend. My sister was home. Um I hung out with friends. I hung out with the boy, you guys. I hung out with family. It was just like filled with laughter and love and community and chatting. And besides me being sick yesterday, I had a really great weekend. So, you know, going back into work this week, feeling good, excited to be back on my schedule, and just looking back on a good weekend. Love it. Looking forward to the future. It's almost March, it's almost the end of February. We are approaching spring, and I could not be more excited about it. But yeah, main topic today, habits that will change your life. It's kind of going off of what we talked about last week, how to live your happiest, healthiest self. I wanted to ask you guys, what are some things, some habits, some rituals that you have been practicing that have changed your life? So, first, we're going to go through my suggestions, my habits that'll change your life or that have changed my life personally. And then I'm going to get into your guys' suggestions. So, let me get a sip of this tea and let's get started. Okay, starting with my suggestions of habits that will change your life. Cutting out alcohol. And this is completely depending on you and your situation and how often you even drink, if you do even drink already. It could be getting completely sober, it could be just having the amount of drinks that you normally have. For me, it is limiting drinking alcohol for 1 to 2 days a week. And this works for me personally. You guys, change that to however you need it to. And then those 1 to 2 days that I do drink, it's either 1 to 3 drinks, it's in the range of 1 to 3 drinks. I feel like my maturity, like me maturing personally, again, personally, I've recognized how alcohol makes me feel, not only the next day, but also in the moment. And I think that recently, while I've been drinking, it just kind of makes me feel icky. And it just kind of it doesn't leave me feeling good, it's not been adding anything to my health or my mood or my body lately. So me personally, I've really cut out alcohol along with the nicotine use, and that has completely changed my life already in these past few months or couple of months of this year. 30 minutes of exercise every day. Again, personal preference, but I do think physical wellness is so important to our mental wellness, and I've noticed a huge difference in my energy levels, in the way I treat people, the way I treat myself, my sleep, my big on my sleep habits, both no more nicotine and then the working out every day has done wonders for my sleep schedule. I barely wake up in the night anymore, and I also wake up feeling refreshed and actually ready to start my day instead of groggy and wanting to take a nap. Which normally I'm a nap girl. Normally I nap every day, but lately I haven't been, and I don't feel like I need to. Go outside every day. The sun is literally medicine, you guys. And listen, this is something that I'm still working on. I don't go outside every day. Um that sounds bad. This almost sounds like self-explanatory, but what I mean by go outside every day is go outside and just like sit out there for a few minutes and feel the sun on your face. It truly does wonders. A lot of us are lacking some vitamin D. Vitamin D is the sun, right? I think it is. Okay, this one's a huge one for me. And I highly, highly recommend this. Take 10 minutes before you go to bed every night to tidy up your space. This could be your kitchen space, your living space, your bedroom space. Pick one or pick them all. Tidying up my space every night before I go to bed leaves me with such a clean slate for the next day. And it also makes my night routine 10 times better because now I get to relax and watch my show or read my book with a clean area. And I'm not looking at it and stressing about it and saying, oh, I'll just do it tomorrow. No, I get to start the next day fresh with a clean space. And this has truly changed my mindset and just the way I see life. It truly is the simple joys. That's what we're talking about today, is the simple joys and the little things that make life 10 times better. Okay, this one. This one is a huge one. Start imagining best case scenario instead of worst case scenario. This is huge for me, especially for us anxiety girlies. Our minds, I mean, we can't help it. I can't help it with my anxiety diagnosis. It's my mind always goes straight to what the worst thing that could happen could be. But I'm really trying so hard to alter my mind and my thoughts. And instead of thinking, oh, this date could go horribly wrong, thinking this man could be my husband. And that's just an example. But because I literally went on a date recently, that's just all I'm thinking about. But it truly does change so many things when we start to think more positive. Start imagining best case scenario instead of worst case scenario. Because also, how often is the worst case scenario going to happen? It's really like the odds are not against us here, you know? Embarrassment is a mindset. If you guys remember a TikTok I made probably 2, 3 years ago, I remember making a TikTok and I was like, embarrassment literally isn't real. Like, it's like, stop worrying about what other people think. Like, nobody else is thinking about how you tripped on the sidewalk. Nobody else is thinking about how you stumbled your words while ordering a coffee. Everyone is so enthralled with their own self and their own minds and their own lives. Nobody else is thinking about you truly. Like, there's nothing to be embarrassed of because literally nobody cares. Embarrassment isn't real. I've always said that it is a figment of our imagination. No one cares. Okay, reading before bed instead of scrolling. This is an obvious one for me. You guys know I love to read. I know it's a little harder when reading doesn't come naturally to you or when it's not your favorite hobby. Find a genre that works for you. If you want to read nonfiction, read nonfiction. If you want to even pull up an article about something that interests you, count that as your reading. Put your phone on Do Not Disturb. Swapping out the reading for the scrolling will do wonders for your mind and for your anxiety levels. Even if you don't have diagnosed anxiety, I'm sure you still experience anxiety at some points, and I can promise you that a lot of it probably comes from your phone. Which brings me to my next point. Utilize the do not disturb button, you guys. I've recently become a D&D baddie. I love turning my phone on do not disturb an hour before I go to bed and keeping it on until an hour after I wake up. We talked about this last week. Not checking my phone right before bed and right when I wake up first thing in the morning has done wonders for my mental health, and it has done wonders for my anxiety level. We were never meant to be exposed to so many conversations and things and news flash, like news in the world first thing in the morning. Like, we were never meant to, what's the word? Consume that much media right off the bat, you know? So why are we doing it now? Make it a habit. Utilize do not disturb. It'll change your life, I promise. Stretching every day. This is something that I personally am trying to do. You guys know I want to get more flexible. I'm trying to work out more. And so what I've been doing is stretching in the mornings and then stretching after my runs to really get, like, when my muscles are warm, you know, really get that what am I trying to say? Really get the never mind. You get the point. Stretching every day. It makes a huge difference that you don't realize. I've already noticed a huge difference in the past week that I've been doing it. I'm already a teeny bit more flexible than I was the week before. Okay, last one from my suggestions is, and listen, not everyone, personal preference. Take a blood test to see what you're deficient in. This is huge for me because I feel like I have a very weak immune system. So a couple years ago, my doctor ran some blood tests on me. Turns out I was deficient in iron, vitamin D, vitamin C. I was deficient in a lot of vitamins and a lot of nutrients. And so finding out what you're deficient in and then taking those supplements and taking those vitamins has truly changed my life and will change your life. And listen, I'm not the best at keeping up with pills, so I do miss a lot of days sometimes, but that's how I know that I've noticed a difference from before when I knew that about myself to after. And after I started taking the medication and taking those supplements and whatever, just finding out your dietary needs and honestly just like knowing your own body. You should know what's going on in your body, what you're lacking, what you're getting too much of. I think it's really important. I mean, it is the most important thing for our health and well-being. So, those are it for my suggestions. Now, I'm really excited to get into your guys' suggestions. You guys gave me a lot of good ones. Some of them were very similar to mine. So, we're going to go over some of these real quick. Okay, number one from your guys' suggestions of habits that you do that have changed your life. The 5-4-3-2-1 Mel Robbins method. And if you don't know what this method is, Mel Robbins essentially says that when you get up in the morning, the longer you snooze your clock, the worse it's going to be. You know, the least likely you are to get out of bed. So, the 5-4-3-2-1 method, from what I've learned, is your alarm goes off, you give yourself, you say 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then you just get out of bed. Now, personally for me, this does not work. I'm gonna be honest, y'all. This does not work for me. I'm a snooze girl. I will snooze my alarm clock 5 times before I get up. Example being this morning, first day back to work after a week, I snoozed like 30 minutes past my alarm. But that's besides the point. Maybe I'll be able to try this again now that I have a more like a better sleeping pattern, but I don't know. This personally does not work for me, but if you all want to try it, give it a go. Number 2, you guys said gratitude journaling. I love this. I've also recently started doing this, but in the form of prayer journaling. So every night or just whenever I have time in my day, I try to write down a prayer and then write down my blessings. So the things I'm grateful for, that can also be gratitude journaling, in my opinion. Somebody said daily Bible studies first thing in the morning. I love this. I wish I had time for this in the morning, which, to be honest with you guys, I could make time. I would just have to get up really, really early. I personally do my Bible studies at nighttime before bed as sort of my like nighttime meditation, but everyone's different. And I think first thing in the morning is a really great way to start your day. Someone else said reading more nonfiction. That's also a goal that I have. I think reading more nonfiction, it just makes us smarter, expands our vocabulary, expands our, what's the word? Our views, our perspectives, I think. It can really, yeah. Me giving myself confirmation. Yeah. Good licking, good. Waking up, a lot of you said waking up early. In specifics, people said waking up 5 to 6 a.m. during the week. Can't say that's changed my life in the best way, but unfortunately for the past 4 years, I have been, well, since high school, actually, for the past like 8 years, I have been waking up around 5 or 6, and it makes me really tired, but I think now that I'm taking the right steps towards my health and well-being, like exercising and eating the right foods, I think that has kind of helped my energy levels. Okay, now I'm rambling and talking about myself, but waking up early, and you don't even have to wake up at 5 or 6 a.m. If you don't have to, even waking up at 7 or 8, I feel like is such a good time to start your day. I feel like 7 is like the ideal wake up time. I would love to wake up at 7 a.m. every day. That's the time I wake up on the weekends, and that's considered sleeping in for me. I think 7 a.m. is a perfect, like, morning time to wake up. Get your day going, spend that first hour from 7 to 8 not on your phone, doing mindful practices. You know, maybe it's meditation, maybe it's gratitude journaling, maybe it's making yourself a good breakfast, maybe it's working out, going for a walk. I feel like 7 a.m. is a good time. So waking up early. Praying. I love that, short and simple. Praying has also changed my life. Like I said last week, just praying, like asking for what you want, asking big. And if you aren't religious or if you don't believe in a higher being, pray to the universe, speak things into existence, do whatever floats your boat, do whatever makes you feel good and whatever you believe in. Someone said listening to my body and intuitive eating. Intuitive eating, what is that? Is that basically just like being comfortable with all foods? Let's look it up. Intuitive eating. Oh, okay. A non dieting approach to changing your eating habits is also known as intuitive eating. According to the National Eating Disorders Association, intuitive eating is about trusting your body to make food choices that feel good for you without judging yourself or the influence of diet culture. I'd say that's kind of how I eat too. I don't necessarily follow a certain diet, I kind of just practice balance and eat what I crave, but like not, I'm not but like not eating junk all the time. I feel like I do just listen to my body and grant myself whatever feels good. And a lot of the times as I've been like living this more healthy lifestyle, I crave those foods that are good for me and good for and that nourish my body. Intuitive eating, I love that. Listening to my body, that's a huge one. I mean, that's one I will always recommend. Listen to your body. If you are getting sick, that's probably a sign that you need to slow down and that you're taking things too hard. If you are stressed and anxious and always worried about something, slow down. Recognize that you need a break, you know? Someone said I take myself on a date every month. I love this so much. I do spend a lot of time with myself and I love taking myself on bookstore dates. I do that quite often and coffee dates. Love this. Take yourself out every month. You're the only person who can fulfill all your wants and your needs. You are the only person who can do that for yourself. You are always going to be the only person that you have, you know? You've got yourself, you've got your own back. Take yourself on a date, you deserve it. Someone said, every Monday I go to a coffee shop and dedicate time to working on my small business. I love this. I have a version of this and I just do like content days for myself where I record the podcast. I get ready, record the podcast. Sometimes I'll take Instagram pictures. Sometimes I will do TikToks all in kind of the same day and just dedicate time to my craft. I think dedicating time to your craft is a huge thing, especially if you own a small business. Like, I feel like for me, I'm not doing stuff for the podcast every day, but I dedicate a couple days out of the week solely to creating content for the podcast. Someone said nightly gua sha. Love this. I never understood the gua sha thing. I know Sid does it. A few other people do it. I think Hannah's the one who said this. Nightly gua sha. I don't know how to gua sha, and I know I could just look up YouTube videos, which I've tried before, but I feel like I've never been consistent enough with it to notice the difference. Something I do every day, though, is mouth tape, butter brush, exfoliate brush before I get in the shower, and ice rolling. Those are my, what's the word? Holy grails, rituals. Someone said genuinely just expecting the best and having a positive outlook on life. Genuinely just expecting the best. I love that so much because, again, why do we as humans just always immediately our minds go to the worst case scenario? We always think of what could go wrong instead of what could go good. And I love that just having a positive outlook on life really will change your entire life. When you start a new project, if you're starting a small business, if you have a new job, if you're going out on a limb, taking a risk, taking a chance on somebody, taking a chance on yourself, starting a new hobby, always having the best outlook is the best way to go. And I love that so much. I'm glad you said that. Somebody said running. Me too, girl. Running has changed my life. I'm loving it so far and I can't wait to keep going and just see all the possibilities and all the things that I can do. All the races I can run. Like, it's making me excited and hopeful for my future. Knowing that I have like a marathon or half marathon coming up in November, that's so exciting. And then once I do that, like once I hit that milestone marker, what can I do next? It really just has opened up a whole new world for me. So I'm excited about that. This goes along with it. Somebody said going to the gym. Somebody said Adderall. Real. And listen, don't take it unprescribed, ladies and gentlemen. Somebody said getting a library card changed their life. I love that. Sadly for me, I'm a book collector, so I just cannot get behind a library card because I want to own all of my books. And I know that's horrible, but I'm a book collector. What can I say? And a Sunny Angels collector. Okay, let's go and see if anyone else gave us any while we were recording. Oh, I got a lot of repeats, a lot of waking up early, a lot of going to the gym or just exercise. A lot of people mentioned prayer and reading their Bible every morning. I love that. But yeah, most of you guys had sort of the same responses, which I love. Glad to know that we can all agree and kind of always come back to a middle ground on how to be the happiest and healthiest versions of ourselves. But I thought this week's episode, just telling you guys about these habits that I use and the habits that other people use, my followers use, I thought it would be a good addition to last week's episode and to just kind of help you get the ball rolling on living your best life. So, thank you guys so much for watching and listening. Make sure you follow me on Instagram at Lakin Olmstead and at Love Letters from Lakin. I know today was a little bit of a shorter episode, but I have so much coming for us in the future. Also, you can still shop my merchandise at lovelettersfromlakin.com. And I think this is all I have for you guys today. This has been a love letter from Lakin. Bye.